Hello class. For my creative project, I decided to do photography. I did this type of project because I enjoy photography and I enjoy like the art of like the editing of the photos. So, so I've been doing this for like 10 years. It's just me that does everything by myself between the photos and like the editing. I take several trips to several different like national parks, different countries, etc. And then there's a lot of photos I have of my dog. He's only included in two, one of which you just saw, but I thought I'd give him a little shout out. My specific focus in photography is mainly environmental and cultural topics. The photos you will see for this project are mainly environmental, as that's something I'm extremely passionate about. The reason for this is different each time I think about it. For the majority of the reason, though, it's I think the environment is something every person, species, being, etc., has in common. It's our home, place of comfort. It's where the water we consume comes from, the food that we eat, and it's overall important for all living things. But the overall arching question that I always have is why aren't we taking care of it the way it takes care of us? So with that, I will begin. This is a photo of the Sydney Harbour Bridge. I took this during my study abroad last semester, so it was taken July 29th of 2022. I really enjoy this photo, I think, one, because I like the way the bridge is lit up at night, but also I like that the way it's like positioned in the photo. So this is kind of just like a fun little photo that I added in because I thought it was cute. This is downtown Wollongong in Wollongong, Australia. I like this one because it kind of gave an insight to a little bit of the culture. So those barricades that you see on the bottom left are actually like common with designs of indigenous workings in Australia. And then I also enjoy the fact that that back says discount chemist, which is actually like a pharmacist here. And a discount chemist is similar to our like CVS or Walgreens. I found that out a really hard way because I got really sick in Australia and then asked for a pharmacist and they had no idea what I was talking about. And then when I explained to them what it was, they're like, the chemist. And I was like, yeah. This top left photo is Thirroul, Australia. I really enjoyed this photo because I liked the way that the plants were kind of like naturally withering away. I think it shows to the degree of heat that the planet's going through, the degree of heat that's not only in Australia but other places in the world. And then also, like, I really enjoyed the fact that it overlooked this like big beautiful ocean. That bottom left photo is the University of Wollongong campus. I actually really enjoyed that photo because that's a natural like pond that's there. And also, as you can see, they don't cut away at it ever. It's like a natural growing placement. On the right is a historic church in Wollongong. That's my friend Alana posing for the photo. I think I actually don't remember if she got this photo from me. My bad, but it's essentially the reason I took this was because we really enjoyed the fact that like they left historic accounts still there. So this is, I believe, one of their Catholic churches, but it may be Baptist. I'm not entirely sure. But the reason that we took it was because we really enjoyed the fact that the historic monument that from past was still there and that they weren't like abolishing it type of thing. And that to me is important because I think some things need to be preserved so that we can understand the history that has occurred there. This is Katoomba, Australia. I really enjoy these three photos. They're kind of my favorites, specifically the last two. I think the middle one might be my actual favorite, but it's giving this natural like runway to this water that has like no like natural like quote unquote enemy type of thing. It's free running. It's running where it wants to run, and that's important to me. I like taking photos of the environment like this because if you go back years later, you can see the way it shifts, and that would be from the way we've obviously taken care of things, or the way like if the climate's getting hotter, as we know, so if it's getting hotter, how is that shifting everything? I think that's a good like thing to look back at. This is just the Sydney Opera House. I just thought this photo was really pretty. Again, it's an Australian thing. It's obviously like the Opera House is pretty famous and we know it. but I think it's the fact that the sunset was in the background and it hit the opera house just right that made me like really excited for this photo, so I decided to include it. Um, we'll go with the right. The right's my dog Bruno. I took him to the park and he obviously poses for my photos very well with his smile. And then that left hand is also like this like spider resident that lived with me for I don't know how long in my accommodation in Australia, but I found him one day. It's a huntsman spider. They get pretty big. I was like, I'm gonna take a picture of it from a far distance. I'm not a spider girly, but I still appreciate them and let him live his life as he pleased. Okay, so I chose to compile my photos that are my favorite that I've ever taken. These photos for me are much more than documents that I achieved, but memories, reminders, and stories that allow others to breathe them into my life and experiences, and a lot for the true beauty that is nature. So I just wanted to end this presentation saying that, and also with the message that the environment's important. I think even if you're maybe not the most environmental person, you can understand how the effect has on every one of us. It's important to take care of the environment and ourselves. So, thank you.